Hello, 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 and welcome to another edition of the Brian Colletto Show, streaming to my LinkedIn and YouTube channel by way of Restream. And if it should ever be repurposed to other platforms, wherever you may listen to podcasts or live videos. And as a disclaimer, this is just for informational purposes. This is not professional advice. So please seek professionals in the event that you need that. So, first things first, if I sound a little bit louder, it's because I just got new headphones to plug into my computer. Um, the old headphones lasted me about 8 years. They didn't completely break, but they were starting to show signs that they weren't doing so great. And now with these new headphones, I realized that the volume that I was turning all the way up needed to be turned down a little bit. But I'm still louder than I was with the old headphones. So that explains why this all of a sudden sounds pretty good. So uh, there's that. So, why I titled this Autism and Food Insecurity. So, on this day that this show is being recorded, I attended a conference about food insecurity in my area, in my state. And, you know, I'm not going to get into all of the details here because, number one, I don't take pictures of every single detail. And I don't want this to be uh, a full alarm about food insecurity, especially when I'm primarily focusing on autism advocacy. But I will say that with ties to autism, that based on the numbers, just factoring in everyone in, special needs or no special needs, it's definitely concerning um, that there are a lot of people who are struggling to make ends meet and having a job and getting consistent paychecks that they need that. In people with autism or other special needs struggling to find employment, struggling to figure out living independently and not being able or not having to rely on parents or caregivers for their entire life, it's definitely a concern. And so, um, you know, there to sum everything up, there is a lot of work to do to beat this, but I know in at least in my state of New Jersey, uh, we're up for the challenge, and we will beat this one day, and and make sure that every individual, every family can have food on the table, and thus people who are on the spectrum can have a better frame of mind with good nutritious food and be able to focus on getting the services that they need in order to thrive with autism in whatever is best for them. And this is all different levels of autism, substantial needs, low support needs, somewhere in the middle. You know where I'm getting at with that. And and I also would love to in the future be able to, at least in my area, be able to participate in conferences that talk about um, autism, of course, but also I would tie in food insecurity for those that come more for that, but can, but maybe they're open to at least a little bit when it comes to the autism spectrum. And, I mean, because people who know me know that, you know, I'm very independent, but there are some ways that I'm not. I mean, I can get places on my own, but I don't live on my own. So that is my summary for this on that subject. I wasn't going to go 15 to 20 minutes to talk about that because hardly anybody pays attention to me anyway, and I I I didn't want to veer too much far off from what I usually do here. So now the events from the past week. Now I mentioned the event that I went to today, but what have I done since the last show? Well, I did a lot actually. I went to a networking event on Wednesday night last week for a group that just started back in January. And after having a 3-month break, they finally came back for a monthly event this past Wednesday. Then this past Thursday was my workplace's annual dinner, which I didn't get to be a part of last year because it was the same night as a chamber awards dinner that my organization was getting an award from. So I went to that one instead to accept the award. But this time I was able to be back for my workplace's annual dinner, and we had our highest amount of registered attendees. And a lot of people that came were people I met through networking. So the word is getting out there about my organization, and I'm really touched by that. And then this past weekend, I attended a couple of street fairs. I attended one um, in Woodbridge, New Jersey by me on Saturday. That was fun. Started off a little slow for me with the socialization, but it got better. And and then I went to one in Westfield, New Jersey on Sunday, and that one too also I think started off a little bit slow, but then got better as time went along. So, you know, I've come to accept that as part of me with my autism, that it doesn't usually happen for me right away at events. But then as I feel everything out, then it starts to come together for me. And and so, you know, although for the conference that I attended today, it wound up being that I started being social right away before the formal part started. So um, so there you go. And that is what I have for this week's edition. Happy autumn 2025. This is the first day of fall that this is being recorded. And yeah, I'm doing well as we start the times of pumpkin spice and apple cider donuts. make it a great season. And I don't know if I'll be back next Monday because next Monday is my parents' 40th wedding anniversary. Shh. Um, but I will aim to be back at some point next week with another episode. And until the next time I come on, I send you all love, light, blessings, and peace. Take care.